What's up, Stark?
He's recording.
Oh, is he?
Who's
Okay,
recording?
Dread, you ready to start?
Wait, who's recording?
Tyro.
Tyro? Oh, I didn't hear the recording starting thing, but okay.
Yeah. He said,
Um,
wait, did he say he's recording?
He just said it, like,
Where?
shouted it to you. Just
Oh.
start, go.
Oh, okay.
fucking Tyro.
Alright,
well,
so I'll start off, actually.
go ahead.
We told you guys we'd update LBA, so we did. It's not done yet. You should expect it later in the week, but we're going to show you how some of the new shit in it works. Okay, go ahead, Dread.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
fuck you, you're sort of wrong on that because it is done, but...
Oh, it is done, okay.
Okay, so anyways, doing an update for LBA. Pretty much, just a warning, fair warning for everybody. Old munitions aren't going to be compatible right now because of making it so that it can actually, well, handle the spam better and all that. It's just really a change in syntax though, so, you know, fuck you. Just change the goddamn message it sends to, like, you know, something a little bit simpler. It's just really key and damage. Big change, that's with, like, the big change is, as you probably heard, the blacklisting thing, which is going to communicate with the black box over here. So black box shows status of you know, when shit's getting the blacklist and sending a blacklist. So, you know, it's gonna show, hey, stuff's being interacted with, first of all. And if you spam the fuck out of the LBA box, should process soon. 1 second.
Did you break something already?
Oh, the script was off.
Oh, okay, I was like, this is not a good fucking public, go.
Fuck off at it. Okay. So anyways, the blacklist sheet. So when you res this stuff out and the script activates, it searches, well, it sends a message out in the region for the black box on the region's channel, which is something that changes from region to region. Pretty much says to the region, hey, you know, where's my black box? Give me my fucking blacklist, bitch. So black box talks back to it, gives it dumps the list of names that are on the blacklist and all that shit. So, you know, it just saves it like that, and, you know, for future reference.
Does,
if you're on the blacklist, it's going to be like, it's not going to let you either damage it, report, like, well, reports to the fucking black box, so you can't, you know, falsely accuse somebody or report somebody. And if you do that, then I'll personally blacklist you and not ever take you off of it. But yeah, if it's the owner or the creator or the owner's name that is, well, and they're trying to interact with it, it doesn't work. So, say if somebody, say, scripter for some group that floats around in the sky and shoots really big explosions at everybody, if the scripter for that loses their cool and, you know, spams the fuck out of every single tank in the region with, like, you know, crazy amounts of damage and gets themselves blacklisted, that could bode well for, that could, like, really hurt the entire group as a whole. So,
yeah,
people are gonna need to not be complete fucking spazzes if they're making a group skier. So it's gonna require a little more of a level-headedness from certain people, but yeah.
I will also, at some point, Dread, we should make the lists publicly available on our website.
Yeah, for sure.
That shouldn't take long to do, though. We'll just add a page. For that.
Pretty much if you're spamming with damage, though, like, it's two things. One, it gets triggered by the AT cap, so if the damage is going over the AT cap, as well as it's over the hit cap, that's when it actually starts looking into it. And it's like, hey, what's going on here? If the damage per hit, which is just, you know, total damage divided by, you know, the hits from that munition, if the damage per hit is under, like, 5, then it doesn't, it just ignores it. It's like, okay, whatever, keep on doing that.
Okay, can I ask a question?
So,
real quick?
what's up?
So, is the AT cap still on a per script basis based on the scripter's preference?
Yes, it is right now.
Okay, so that being said, can the AT cap be used to manipulate somebody into getting blacklisted by lowering?
If you set
AT
it really
cap?
low, yeah, but it can't be under 5 though. Well,
Um,
I'm also going to be having a thing in the black box though, so if somebody has it under, like, you know, 50, then it's just gonna be
Yeah.
like, no, fuck you.
Yeah, you just can't blacklist something if somebody's
Yeah.
AT at all. If somebody's AT cap is under 50 is the best way to do it. I think.
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna be doing it. So people can
Oh.
just be fucking complete.
Can I
fucklords.
interject
What's up?
for a second there? I also want to say that the black box system is entirely opt-in. If you don't want to have the black box in your sim, that's fine. The LBA will still function in your sim without a black box.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Also, black boxes. You run up to it and you click it, and you can actually get a list dumped to you of everybody that's actually on the black box, as well as the munitions they used, the like the reason, which is spam, for an example, like out in TeamSpeak, number of hits, total damage from those hits, and damage per hit. So if somebody's using something completely fucking ridiculous, you can quite clearly see what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
You know? Also shows you the reporting object's owner key, as well as how many strikes they have on them. 1 strike doesn't get you completely blacklisted. It's after 5 strikes right now. So somebody has to be consistently being a shithead to get themselves automatically blacklisted from the entire system. Like if someone's just acting like fucking around, being a jackass, you know, and people can vouch for it, it's like, okay, whatever, I'll fucking take them off.
It's also
I'm not
really
gonna-
easy for us to remove somebody from this.
Yeah, it's like just our database. We can just go to it and just hit.
Yeah,
delete,
it takes
there you
me
go.
like 2 seconds to log in, search the person's key, and then fucking remove the entry entirely.
Also, people can always, you know, just comment out the actual region state in the armor when they're testing shit.
Yeah.
And, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that shit will make actually running LBA a lot less griefable by assholes trying to do assholey things. If someone's, you know, just trying to fucking one-shot you as well, there's always the AT cap, and if somebody's consistently doing that shit with like a fucking infantry weapon, you know, I'm completely open to people sending me recordings of people acting like assholes and just trying to one-shot them, and I'll support you guys and be like, okay, yeah, that's not cool. I'll just fucking add them to it manually.
Yeah. I would like to start a new forum about this later on. Like, I'll actually register like a LLCS Armored Combat Committee website. I've got a free domain. So I'll go ahead and set that up and put the website together this week, and we'll have a black box thing, and shit, dude, I'll even make a Twitter bot that fucking tweets when somebody gets blacklisted. I don't fucking care. The thing is, my major concern is whether or not the community is okay with us having control over the black box. But if they're not, they don't have to res out the black box. That's the thing. Like, I understand this is a community where trust is an issue because we've had people in the past that have done really shitty things. Dread or I have never been caught doing anything shady. Anytime I do something shitty, I do it in public.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't do things shitty, I do things shitty.
Yeah.
When it's someone
Like
getting
scripting.
really fucking angry about shit.
But like I said, black box is entirely opt-in. In terms of getting your stuff updated to this new version of LBA, should you wish so, it's just a matter of script swapping. Most of it hasn't changed. It's just script swapping. I will try to make the list of who's banned for what publicly available on our website by the end of next month. Give me some time because I have to write Dread and I will have to write a plugin for WordPress for it or something because I don't feel like fucking linking you guys to a raw SQL table. Fuck you.
But yeah, like I was saying though, pretty much you can just run up to the black box and click it, and you'll get a list of everyone that's blacklisted. Though it's all in its own message, so you won't hit the message cap. It'll just cycle through them, spam you with like fucking 20 messages or something like that.
Yeah.
If there's that many people on it.
Trying to think what else. I mean, this wasn't necessarily a very long meeting that needed to take place.
Yeah.
If anybody needs to do any testing with it and everything like that, do the script swaps and toss them in whatever you wanted to test. And, you know, since the system's not actually active yet, we'll test shit with you guys and we'll do some bug testing. And if we need to switch some things around or you need to switch some things around, we're totally open to it. You know what I mean?
Alright, so anyone have any suggestions for this shit? Before we start throwing things out?
No gays.
No gays allowed, got it. Anyone
It
else?
seems like a solid way. I actually
Damn.
don't mind the blacklist system being owned by you guys. It does make sense either way. That's just because we've had really good relations with you guys. Not everyone has been has that same experience, but either way, I agree with the whole idea of swapping this over to LBA. I liked it the first time we did it.
My thing on people, you know, if they don't trust us, you know, if they catch us doing something shady, just say fuck you and call us out, whatever.
Yep, pretty much. What were you saying, Haven?
The only my two biggest concerns are, one, more adoption this time. KPC seems pretty interested in doing it again. I don't have a problem with it because it is something to standardize the community. That's something lacking for years and years and
Yeah.
I mean, it's been done with treaties, it's been done with note cards, but it's never been done with an actual scripted system. So I am down for doing this.
I will.
Two things.
Go ahead.
That's the first thing. The second thing is, if this is going to be a thing, don't bitch out when you guys get frustrated and keep working on it, because the moment this stops being actively updated and worked on or supported, it's going to go right back to square one again.
Yeah, let me explain why we left the Outlands project. It was not, yeah, well, just for everybody. The reason we left the Outlands project was not because we ran out of money. We still had plenty of money. We could have continued paying for those sims for the next 3 or 4 years. Like, that's not a big problem. The reason why we left the Outlands project is we were not having any fun, and a lot of us had gotten new jobs that were very time consuming, and we got to the point where we looked at it and we said we're never going to be able to finish these sims in a reasonable amount of time when we're all working 50 and 60 hours a week. So
Minus is a trucker now.
yeah, so the big issue with that was legitimately that we had just decided that, and we had told you guys that in September. We said probably in October, which was when the Outlands closed down, we're not going to be able to continue the project anymore because we don't have time to build the sims anymore. The scripted systems for the Outlands were pretty much done. There were a few things that needed to be fixed with them. And eventually I might try it again, but it really, with how fucking toxic the community was over the summer, it doesn't seem worth my time or my money right now. So that's really the big problem. I could get the money back together at any time and get, 4 or 5 sims put back together, but look what happened with the new Jesse continent and things like that.
Yeah.
And I'm not even going to sit here and talk shit. Everybody knows what happened with the new Jesse continent. It was the same toxic level of shit that pretty much made the Outlands not any fun, but it was exacerbated by the fact that there was no ruling council, there was no voting system on who could attach, and
the builds had no sort of cohesion. It was,
exactly.
You turn and suddenly...
We had a mostly empty build, but,
the build that was there was cohesive, though, like the parts that were getting finished.
The textures were uniform. You didn't have to render 80 bajillion things. I could actually play on your continent. New Jesse's continent?
Yeah, I can't actually. I can run an AN sim now because they switched back to the Mars style build, which is good. I was over there fighting a couple nights ago, and I wasn't having any frame rate problems until I spun around and had to render the other sims. But if they want to all stay connected, more power to them, like, if they can get it to work, but it really just seems like a bunch of sims that are connected that people just set their home in whatever sim they're fighting at the time, and then they lag and they realize that it's not worth it and stop fighting, which is unfortunate. It's just, I don't intend to leave SL again anytime soon, and we will continue to update and support LBA. But LBA will get to the point where it plateaus, which might be even this update. I'm sure there's some shit that we need to work on still.
Yeah, I'll update things with whatever people think I should really update them with. Like, if people have suggestions after I look at the script and they're like, hey, this would be more efficient, or, this might be a better way, I'll look into it, and if it's better, I'll fucking update to it. I'll change it around,
Yeah.
Like,
the one thing
that's what I've been like for this entire time. Like, it's in my eyes, should be a community project. People should modify it and fuck with it and improve it however they want, and just send it out to people and be like, hey, this is a little bit better,
Yeah.
I don't mind.
We've never been one of those groups that's, like, immune to criticism in terms of our gear. I mean, if you want to tell us how to run our group, you can fuck off. I think that we've stood the test of time in terms of group stability. We have the lowest member turnover rate of any group in this community, and you can argue with me all you want. I have logs of it and everything. We've lost in the past year 3 members, and one of those 3 members was kicked out. The other one was being used to rat out other people, and the other one just got bored and doesn't play SL anymore. So that being said, Or no, wait, it's been 4. Now that I think
Yeah,
about it.
Terminus. Don't forget about that.
Yeah, but in terms of scripting things, if you're doing something better, we'll hear you out on it. Like we want to know if there's something we can improve, and we will improve it if there's something like legitimate to your claim. Just being like, your scripts are lagging the sim, fuck you, that just gets fucking old. Provide some evidence that that's happening, because we test all of our stuff. We do rigorous testing to make sure that our shit's not laggy. And if something is laggy, we know it's laggy, and we use it to make a grief object instead.
Paper stack, paper stack, paper stack, paper stack, paper stack.
What was that, Harris?
I said this has been witnessed a few times.
Did you let the box gun?
Yeah. But
Dread, I want that training gun.
Everyone does.
I want to see LBA succeed. I'm in the same boat as Haven for this, especially as one of the, as a group leader in this community. Like, the entire Chaos leadership is behind LBA.
I just think that having actual tank fights to be a lot more fun. That's why I did it.
Yeah, basically, I'm just tired of the sim lagging when people are throwing. The whole reason why I got on board with this and told Dread to work on it with IDT and Zan was, I'm tired of the sim lagging when people throw thousands of AT at somebody's tank. But the other thing that I'm tired of is somebody saying their thing does 25 AT and then I find out it does 250 later on. Because our shit was very responsive to damage all the time. And it sucked because a lot of other people's shit wasn't very responsive to damage all the time. So they'd throw a grenade at us and our tank would die, and we'd throw a grenade at them and their tank would take 1 damage a lot of time.
Oh, that's one other good thing
Speaking
that
of, hold on,
LBA should that LBA will take care of is people being assholes with their velocity filters.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, true, that too.
Oh my god, there are some people saying, "Oh well, I got people saying that the new rocket isn't doing damage against these," and I'm like, dude, it's firing them at 75 meters per second. If their velocity filter's higher than that, they're shitlord.
They're being an asshole.
Shitlord.
I honestly don't think that anyone should have had their velocity filter over 100, over 30 even. Honestly,
25, maybe 50.
Yeah, like if you're having it over 100, you're just being a fucking asshole.
Yeah. So, I will tell you guys what groups I know currently will probably be readopting LBA. Ordo already is because they're getting scripts from us. Chaos, clearly. It sounds like KPC is on board.
Yep.
2142 was adopting the older version of LBA. I'd really love to see them.
I'm sorry, I'm a lazy asshole.
It's all right. We
No,
disappeared.
you are, you lazy asshole.
But we'd like to see. I'd like to see because 2142 is my favorite place to have vehicle fights in.
As long as you that fucking gunship up.
Yeah, it's besides the gunship. Yeah. But
we
like
have
tank
LBA
fights,
versions of all the ground vehicles except for the hover tank.
yeah, tank fights and standard aircraft, unarmored aircraft fights are the most fun in their sim.
Yeah, no doubt.
The rest of the community could kind of take a page from their book in terms of air-to-air seekers, but there's a way to make air-to-air seekers fun too. But we'll have another meeting about that later on. Raydor has his form for air balancing, but we kind of got frustrated with that because it felt like a cop-out. The only two people that fucking started switching over to this shit for the form for air balancing thing was Corsi, Mousehold, and Dread. Like, that was back when Corsi was in Silverhawks, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They actually have had an FAB mode for several 2142 stuff.
Yeah.
Oh. Never saw it. Cool.
Make
that shit public knowledge, faggot.
Set.
Yeah.
Wow.
One thing that I'd really like to see, or it's unfortunate that AN didn't show up because I'd really like to see AN on board with this because they're one of the primary users of vehicles. So it's kind of unfortunate that they didn't show up, but they never show up to these kind of meetings with us. They just have their own meeting later on a lot of the time. Watch the video, so that's fine. Hopefully we get in contact with Raid again, but I heard he might be deployed overseas again for something. I'm not sure. I'd have to actually talk to Raid, but I know Raid was interested in switching to LBA, and a lot of the things we did with this update were things that he was requesting we do with the system to make it a little bit more secure. And he was right, it needed to be done. It just took us a while to do it.
We were busy with other shit, man.
We were playing Elite.
Yeah, we were playing Elite, and also we were all fucking dealing with the Outlands called shit.
Yeah, that was
It's
a
hard
big
running
problem.
constantly.
The advice to anybody opening a neutral sim or a neutral system or anything like that: do not release it or open it until it's done. That was the mistake we made with the Outlands. And it was kind of the mistake we made with LBA for the primary first level of adoption for it. It was just LBA has to exist on kind of a different playing field because it has to be publicly tested when each rollout comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
One
other
other
than-
thing
yeah, go
I
ahead.
might suggest, and this is going to be really easy, and it might sound silly, but I think it will help. You guys should make a logo that we can put on a sign in the spawns.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's like
yeah, we
this
can do
sim
that.
uses
Well,
LBA.
I do have a LBA like sign
Starter
giver
kit
thing.
sign. Yeah. I'll
Yeah,
update
uh,
that
the
today.
Giant
Nixon did it.
anus does
Yeah.
not count.
Hey, we've gotten a little bit more mature about putting assholes all over our sim. Okay.
Sorry, I
Okay,
have a cold.
whatever bullshit wants to spit out of your mouth this week, cadet.
Trying
Make
to
a show
think.
called "Stupid Things Cadet Says." That would be
Yeah.
one of them.
Trying to think if there's anything else that really needs to be covered. I would like to do turn the actual blacklisting thing off even for people that have black boxes for a little while. Maybe for the first release to do some data mining to see how many people get accidentally blacklisted. And if no one gets accidentally blacklisted, we'll just turn it all on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there might need to be like a switch that we need to make, or the actual PHP communication, so that we can switch
Well, yeah, I can
blacklisting
just
on and
fuck
off.
with that, honestly. Like,
Yeah. But
Okay,
that
so
way we
from my
can do a
understanding
little
is
bit of data
once
mining.
your sim's done, you guys are going to be going full LBA.
Our sim will be, our tanks, fleet ships will be full LBA.
Okay.
Our gunships, our assault bikes, and smaller things that people are going to shoot bullets at that should take damage from getting hit by a bullet, will still be LBA light. But we would prefer, if you're going to shoot a missile at us and bash as opposed to bashing a bunch of prims into us, you just, be like, hey, fuck you, take 25 damage. You know what I mean? It's better on sim performance, and since we are using a homestead right now, and we do not know if we intend to upgrade to a full sim anytime soon, for us, LBA is a really good choice, and I think for a lot of the smaller groups, because they're in homesteads, LBA is a very, very good choice, because it's not killing the physics processing thread in the sims anymore to send damage. And I think that's a big thing that I hope gets reiterated as we record more videos about LBA. This is good for the sim. It's not just us trying to have control over armored combat in the community. If you're in a homestead like a lot of these smaller groups are, it's a big problem that you're throwing thousands of collisions around at a tank or something like that when you could just send like 3 or 4 messages. Yeah, exactly. If you're running a neutral sim, make sure at least one of your admins has some scripting comprehension so that they don't just make assumptions. I think that should be every sim, actually. Any military sim, people with band powers need to have some comprehension, or at least communication with someone before they ban something based on just rash assumptions.
Yeah.
They need to communicate with somebody that.
well, just banning period though. That one time I got banned from Toy Soldiers because Sentry thought my gun was lagging the sim, even though I had lower script time than them with their fucking fairy tale. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just, I think that the big thing here in the SOMC in general is just transparency and communication. I think that LBA will help with that in terms of it's, say this is our last year, which it's kind of looking like it with the way the community's going right now. It might try to make it fun, and LBA helps with the transparency and communication, because it can be like, hey dude, why is that doing that much damage or something like that? Like, why did you think that was fair and balanced, basically? And everybody has their own idea of what's fair and balanced in this community too, so.
Yeah.
Some of them are just wrong.
Yeah.
Murdam.
So I haven't heard from XAF since I got back, since my 1 month.
Random's been kind of greedy lately.
Yeah, well, I'm banned from their sim for
What?
I don't know.
I think I'm banned also.
I'm banned from their sim too. I don't know why. I don't remember.
I don't think I've ever actually been to their sim unless I tried teleporting
I
to
can't
it.
really initiate communication with them, because I don't like just IMing somebody. I want to make sure they're there most of the time. So hopefully they see this video, they contact me and inform me why I'm banned, which is probably something to do with balloon inflators.
Most likely, yeah.
I think mine would probably be something to do with design clarity tracking.
Oh yeah, it
missiles,
probably
because
was
I don't like
either
wireframe.
something to do with design or something to do with bowling and
I'm sorry, that's
fighters.
hilarious. Design
Yeah.
clarity tracking missiles. That I don't see why
Yeah.
you would be banned for that. You should receive
Yeah.
a medal.
Yeah. well,
As for Ordo, I don't know where Dark is, but or Red for
probably
that
working.
matter. Yeah, he's probably working. But we'll talk to him. I was talking to him
Yeah.
last night. He was like trying to buy a TV for a computer monitor, and I was like, "No, dude, you're gonna have input delay. Don't do that." So, but Dark's been really. I think that this Ordo it might be Dark's group that succeeds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
We'll see. I haven't seen anyone really spurg out there yet.
Yeah. Except for that guy that tried to black screen me, and I black screened him
Yeah.
back. But Dark handled that.
I think not having Milna in that group really helps.
Yeah. And I do think that everybody in this community is capable of changing except Haven Zero.
Nope. Fuck
Yeah,
everybody.
Haven
Zero's a fag boy.
So, what I want to see is some more smaller new groups pop up. Dread found one the other day.
Yeah.
But
I'm not telling
Deletes
anybody
them
the
immediately.
I'm not telling anybody the location, so that right there doesn't happen. though.
yeah, exactly, because I'm tired of watching groups just grief these new small groups out of the community. Like we like
this.
yeah,
Like that one
well,
time
no,
when,
that's not what happened with Sanctus. Sanctus was an accident.
well, what I'm saying is like that one time when those guys that were stormtroopers, for
Oh
Gar,
yeah.
were
Yeah,
interested
so
in
Gar-
getting back in the
or something
community,
like that.
and they went to attack Alliance Navy, and they fucking bombed them with fleet ships in the spawn for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Gar was like, we don't want to do a fucking SLMC shit anymore. And the same shit was happening with First Cav too, and people were whining about First Cav scripts, and it's like, then give them some fuck, man.
Yeah.
There's also the Duplos.
Yeah, that was First Cav.
Ah,
Yeah.
Well, they were kind of just like a pop up when things get really funny kind of thing.
Yeah.
They came back for a while.
Yeah. Well, they'll be back and forth. It's that's a fucking encrypted ghosts group or singularity phenomenon. The same guy. And then it'd be nice to see Remnant come back because a lot of the people that were in Remnant never went to other groups. And I know Kratos is back too.
That was sort of the thing about, Hadet brought us up the other day. That was sort of the thing about like Vanguard and Ordo dying, though, is that their members didn't actually split up into our groups. They just fucking went with the group and were like, whatever, because they had so much time invested into it,
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think that's kind of what happened when like Chaos took a break. Yeah, we joined a bunch of other groups just to see what they were like and be dweebs in them. But in terms of it's just like we put a lot of time into Chaos, so that's kind of the problem. Like, yeah, when Vanguard died, Chaos Eternus got a lot of their members, but it wasn't a lot of their members compared to the number of members that they actually had. We got like 15 dudes out of it. Vanguard had like 200 people in it, And with Ordo, man, Ordo had like 500
300.
people in it. Yeah. It was ridiculous.
What happened with Ordo is kind of what you guys were describing happened with you, is the fact that SLMC was no longer fun. It wasn't worth the hassle. I mean, there were problems within the group, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But Alright he's like, I'm not enjoying this. I'll keep paying for it if you guys enjoy it. And then people were like, it's not really fun without you.
Well, I think things not being fun is the start to having problems in your group, too. Like, the moment things stop being fun, or like one asshole's like exercising too much power or something, that Hadet guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then yeah, that's when you start having problems in your group, and then you have to make the decision, well, if this is stopping fun, do we continue on just because we've invested this much time here, or do we take the group somewhere where it's going to be fun? You don't have to disband the group. Like, when you build a group, you build a community, and so, that's kind of the point that you get at. Like, when AN takes a break, most of AN, they just go and play another game. And I know that with KPC, that's kind of been the same thing, too. And 2142. 2142 will go play another game for a little bit if they're all getting burnt out on SL. And
they like
I think
playing Arma.
Yeah. I think that's a good way to balance your shit out. It's just unfortunate that it's so expensive to have a presence here in SL. If we could actually host our own sims, which we're supposed to be able to in High Fidelity and SL2, I think that if these communities move to High Fidelity or SL2, we're going to see a lot more stable and level-headed behavior because it's not costing us an arm and a leg to be here anymore.
Yeah. people can just like host some shit on their fucking own computer and be like, okay, yeah, let's fight.
Yeah, we're doing this shit today. Everybody come over here, or even just buy a VM from some company. VMs are super cheap, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know one thing I'd like to see change with the community is the whole downward spiral of, oh well, they're doing it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like certain people asking me to change things and make things, and I'm like, no, that's
yeah.
bullshit.
Well,
And so,
I
well,
saw-
AN's got
We
it.
had
It's
that
like, well, who cares if
experience
AN has
like
it?
yesterday when we were fighting at Raven Raiders. Robert Kamachi has some big non-raycasted like Grand Interceptor because
Yeah.
XAF has one, and it's like so.
No,
what,
that
you
is
know?
the XAF rate. The XAF
No,
intercept.
it's one
he
that-
made his own.
He has.
Yeah,
made
his is
own,
like
yeah.
62 meters or something. But and that's the thing. Like, okay, just because Hitler was killing a lot of Jews doesn't mean everybody else had to go kill a bunch of Jews. You know what I mean?
Except he didn't.
But why
Just
not?
because one person's being an asshole doesn't give everybody else the excuse to go and do the same stupid thing. I completely agree with Sume. Like, oh, somebody, and this goes back to the LBA thing. Just because one person's being a dickweed with LBA doesn't mean that everybody should go do the same thing. Let's just exclude this person from being a dickweed. That's why the blacklist system's there. And that's why we included it as it's a 100% opt-in. Everything will still work without the blacklist if you don't want to have the blacklist. And that's what I was trying to explain to Tacoon yesterday, and I think I got the message across. And then I told him, I'd give him document. If he wants to break it and he can figure out how to break it, more power to him, All it does is give us more information on how to keep it from getting broken in the future.
Yep.
And if he figures out a way to break it that is reasonable and shit like that, then by all means do that. Like, fuck, it was an oversight, But if it's something that needs to be updated, then we learned that we needed to update something.
Yep.
Could it potentially be enforced that if people are using the new system and such, they have it marked as a correct version in the description?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could probably do that by having it update the description in the zip base by communicating with the black box. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, with the black box.
Yeah, the black box would tell it to update its description to its current version of LBA or something like that.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll mess around with that since we haven't released it yet. That's actually a good idea.
Yeah, because I'm fairly certain not everyone's going to switch over in a week or so.
Oh yeah, it's going to
well,
be months
if they
down the
don't
road.
switch over, yeah. Well, the thing is that with this new version, like I was saying though, that it isn't pretty much. It's not being backwards compatible right now. So
well, you
people
can
have
make
to
your munitions
actually,
backwards compatible, right? You can have
Yeah,
it
you
send a
can.
message on
Yeah,
serial
yeah, you
negative
can have your
500 and
munition
the hex
fucking,
thing. Yeah, so
work, but yeah, the armor base isn't going to be backwards compatible though, just so that just to fuck up people that were already trying to break shit and be assholes, honestly, because they gotta be assholes and try breaking shit over again just to get themselves blacklisted.
Yeah,
and that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, I had the conversation with Tacoon, and he thought that we had preemptively blacklisted him. No one is
nobody's
preemptively
blacklisted.
And I don't ever
single
want to
person.
get to the point where we're preemptively blacklisting anybody from anything, and I don't think we ever will. If you're going to get blacklisted for doing something stupid, you're going to get blacklisted for doing something stupid, and it's your fault when it happens, not anyone else's. If it happens on accident, tell us, be like, yo, I was doing this and the fucking LBA system blacklisted me. We'll go through, take a look at why that happened, test it with you, and fix it, I think since we're hitting the 30-minute mark, that might be a good way to wrap it up, because I noticed that when we've got YouTube videos that are longer than 30 minutes, they usually don't get watched all the way through. So
I think that would be it though, for sure.
And in terms
we'll
of the
version
version numbering thing, Aries, we'll look at that because that's a really good idea. It'll help differentiate who's doing what. Tyro, if you want to stop recording because you're a bitch boy, that'd be great.
Yeah, Tyro, fuck you, little bitch.